Decide to rather play it quickly instead of some expanding and then trying to protect it. So Pepsi is as red here, playing as Empire, and Evig also Empire. Chose randomly. He chose random and he got Empire, but that's fine. We'll have an Empire mirror again. Actually, we just saw that between Urakar and Enya as well. We see barracks from Pepsi immediately. Evig going for a little bit more resources. We will see how that is going to work for him. Also farm from Pepsi. Now farm from Evig. Still no barracks, but since he made a farm, I'm definitely expecting barracks. Expansion would be weird at this stage. But he's going with this peasant in the front. Maybe he wants to expand here. That would be actually quite smart, because most players actually don't check this area too often. But seems like he will rather go for something here, which is even more weird. He's going for barracks in this location. Okay, I'm not too sure about that, because if he gets pushed from this area, which to be honest doesn't really happen, the fights usually happen on the bottom side of the map, especially from this position. It's a little bit closer to the bottom, and this one is basically in the middle. But if he for some reason decides to attack from the top, then this barracks will be pretty out of the way. He's making second one at home, of course, but still. Outside of that, we see 16 population on Pepsi side. Of course, already producing some swordsmen that are taking 2 population each. Now making second barracks as well. But yeah, you will definitely not find this. But Evig still will need a little bit more time to actually start producing some units. He can start here. Of course, he can protect himself with peasants for now, but I mean, when Pepsi saw this late barracks, I would expect him to actually expect that Evig made an expansion when he had late barracks, but he's not checking that yet. We see this peasant going in the front as well. Just checking everything around.
We must build more farms, my lord.
Some small skirmishes here, but Evig will just make a tower. And he can definitely repel this with his peasants, as I said. He also has a swordsman, he's producing more. But it's slowing his mining speed a little bit. So he's getting resources a little bit slower. Definitely.
Building complete, my lord. Ready for work, my lord.
Yeah, so some nice damage to both sides. But the tower should be finished really soon. Maybe he'll lose this peasant. A little bit micromanagement, but outside of that he's safe now. He can start focusing on whatever he's trying to focus on, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. Because both of them have 2 barracks, 1 base. These barracks are not even in the base, so I think that's actually a disadvantage. They both have 2 farms. And the only advantage Evig has is that 1 tower, but at the same time Pepsi already has blacksmith, and he's also making a 3rd barracks and upgrading town hall to stonekeep. While also having stronger army, I would say. Now also making a temple, so I really think Pepsi is in an advantageous position. And Evig is a little bit behind here, but maybe he has some secret strategy with that front barracks. He's trying to gather up some swordsmen there actually, okay. So maybe he wants to do a secret push here on the peasants. While Pepsi is in the front, trying to push him. Now he's moving there with 4 swordsmen. I mean, it's a nice attempt, but to be honest, these peasants will just garrison in the stone keep. He will return and just kill the swordsman there. I don't see this as a too big of a threat. Also, there are some swordsmen actually standing here because they are waiting for the heal. We even see some elf rangers. I don't know what he wants to do against the towers here, but You can maybe start shooting with the Elf Rangers on some farms or something. Now we see the swordsman finally here. Maybe he'll kill like one peasant or two of them. He killed two. Now, as I said, immediately garrison into Stone Keep. And he's just gonna retreat probably. Or just create new units. He's not really retreating, okay. I'm not sure what is his strategy right now. He's actually getting precision archery. That's, I mean, I know that he wants to counter the towers with Elf Rangers, so bigger range is definitely advantageous, but overall it's super expensive and I don't think that's really worth it to get at this stage of the game. Right now he's gonna lose farm, he's not getting resources for a ton of time, these units were coming back really late. And this strategy of Evig actually worked pretty well. And I actually don't think Pepsi can defend this even with his army, because his Elf Rangers, those are definitely much weaker than Swordsman. Of course, Evig needs to micromanage it a little bit better, but he's still killing some peasants here, forcing everything away. Those are actually the only peasants Pepsi has left. We see still more and more swordsmen coming from Evig, while also having more and more resources, more population. So overall in much better position. And of course he can one-shot the injured ones with some good micromanagement, but and maybe he will be able to repel this, but there is still more and more swordsmen coming, as I said. And he definitely is getting a ton of resources advantage, because Pepsi doesn't really have any income right now. Even though there's a temple here, also some more advanced units. This pure swordsman spam actually works pretty decently for him. So this swordsman is probably gonna die, the leveled up one. He's utilizing barracks garrison micromanagement. So he's going to repel this. I don't think more swordsmen will be coming. He's just sending them one by one, which is a really big waste of resources from Evig. Now they basically have some population, but he has a ton of gold and gems. Sorry, not gems. He's not even getting any gems. He has a ton of gold and wood, so you can get an expansion, save up some units for later. Don't need to be sending them here anymore. But it definitely worked for him way better than I expected, so that front barracks, or not even front, just secret barracks were definitely a nice move. Something I didn't see yet on this map, and it worked pretty decently. Now we'll see if Pepsi will decide to do some counter push or try to recover a little bit. We see a tower from Evig near this expansion as well, just to maintain some protection here, of course. Basically, same population on both sides, same wood, but Evig has more farms, so he has more population available. They are both at basically 0 gold.
My sword, sir.
Even though Evig is producing more units.
Building complete, my lord.
But these Elf Rangers are still pretty dangerous. So let's see if they can, how we can deal with them, but yeah, you definitely need the priests and some decent micromanagement to make the Elf Rangers work. If you just take a look on the stats, they are pretty bad. Of course, they are ranged units, but you still have 80 less HP than Swordsman and even 1 less damage, while also having no armor. While Swordsman has 1 armor, 2 more damage, and as I said, 80 more HP.
Building complete, my lord.
And they are ranged, but when you get trailblazing on Swordsman, the movement speed is actually better than the range, so I would always rather have more Swordsmen than some Elf Rangers, but as you can see, if you focus the Swordsmen one by one, also once you get some auras, you level them up, they are actually pretty decent. Also, if you get some upgrades, you can really pump up the damage. You can get aura for 2 extra damage, free with upgrades, and now you have 15 damage instead of 10. And then it gets pretty strong. 15 is the maximum of Swordsman if you don't have aura from Elf Ranger. So then it's pretty balanced, and also the HP gets up really quickly. As you can see, 210 when he has 3rd level, which is only 20 less than Swordsman. So once you level them up, they are actually pretty good. Then you can also get the longer range with precision archery and also fire arrows. And right now he's only 6 of them with 2 priests. He's actually able to hold these swordsmen back really effectively. But of course we have full new income for Evig here. Pepsi is also trying to do something there with the expansion, but it's not finished yet. Now we see a nice push, but of course he cannot push into the towers, so without catapults he won't do anything here. His expansion is not even finished, he just started, so Evig definitely has way more resources now. His problem is that he's just making only swordsmen. He was not even getting gems for majority of the game. Now he has 2 gems mines available and he's just using 1 peasant on one of them. But he actually decided to go for a push. He really believes in these towers that they will just protect him, but as you can see, Pepsi will just utilize his range and he will kill the town hall. Of course, Evig can start repairing that, but that's all he can do. Seems like Evig is actually not going to rush this expansion. He probably doesn't even know that there is an expansion. He's rather going to attack Pepsi Elf Rangers from the back, so they cannot escape so easily, but he got attacked here by the Varangis a little bit. It's quite unfortunate. He needs to move away from them. Now we decided to attack him from 2 sides, but as you can see, he's not really able to catch up. Now I think he got trailblazing, but still it's pretty hard to catch up to them. Of course the priests are not that quick, so you can kill them, but yeah, as you can see the swordsmen are just too strong. And they have only one damage upgrade. And still are doing pretty decently. Maybe it will be worth it to get some armor upgrades for these Elf Rangers. He's going to lose this priest.
We must build more farms, my lord.
He lost a ton of gems, but he actually has 300, so we can create some new priests really easily. Yeah, but I'm of course really glad that someone is trying to make Elf Rangers work. Even though it's pretty weak unit, so some plus points for Pepsi definitely. On the other hand, Evig is just doing pure swordsman. No priests, no catapults, no phoenixes, no dryads or whatever. Since he's running here all the time, he could probably just take the storehouses, or warehouses. But okay. I mean, even if he's not making priests, he should at least make a temple, so he can heal his swordsman when he's not fighting. It's same population on both sides, still pretty balanced resources. The income is still better for Evig, but Pepsi finally finished this expansion. Pepsi under huge pressure here. He still has only the weaker aura, which is only 1 damage. He has it on 2 Elf Rangers, 6 kills and 7 kills. This one is close to level 4, but you need level 5 for the stronger aura. This is only a lesser aura of strength and you need aura of strength. Also, as I said, he should get some extra upgrades, maybe for armor, which he's getting now. Leather armor upgrade in blacksmith. Evig now at 20 extra population. Now finish this temple, you'll see if he will also go for some priests. Or he just wanted the temple for healing. Yeah, they are not really contesting for the middle expansion, they just want to push like this, which is probably fine. The swordsman will just keep hitting here, but he don't want all of these Elf Rangers killing his swordsmen, so he needs to also pay attention to that. Now he's just losing units for nothing, for no reason, and this is actually a big problem for him, because he's just giving free experience to those Elf Rangers. They are leveling up and he's not getting anything from that. Now he lured him into a trap of 2 groups of swordsmen. There is way more swordsmen than the Elf Rangers, or not way more, but a little bit more. But with these towers and good micromanagement, maybe even garrison micromanagement, he should be able to easily kill him here. It's also really advantageous position for the ranged units, so I really like it how Pepsi is playing it here. He's going to kill all the swordsmen for free. He lost 1 tower for that. Few units, maybe 1 or 2 peasants, but outside of that he's totally fine. And he just gained a huge advantage. And to be honest, mainly on the experience. That is the most important thing. Already first Elf Ranger at level 4. Once he finishes this one, he will get 1 extra damage for all of his units, yeah, which is really brutal. If he has 20 Elf Rangers here, that's 20 extra damage. And you can also get it with Blacksmith, as you can see. Blacksmith upgrades, but those cost resources, and it's also limited only to 3, so each aura you get is always really valuable. He also has 1 Swordsman, maybe he wants to also get some armor auras, but it's really hard to level up the Swordsman, of course. Seems like the... Yeah, it was obviously this was bugged sound because there was not the player we are watching from his perspective. So yeah, we see nice push from Evig here. There is only 1 tower. Actually, we see Obsidian Tower from Pepsi. Wants to go for Elf Rangers with mages. That will be even more interesting. But now he needs to save this. This is his main income. He needs to save that really quickly. You don't really need to push into the towers now. Mage is actually produced now. He's also going for flaming arrows. That is the slower line, so that's 90%. He should have it really quickly. And he also has the mages now. We see actually Pepsi also going for the expansion in the middle.
Research complete, my lord.
Oh, Evig also transferring to Elf Rangers. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the levels. I would like to see a little bit more priests from Pepsi, of course also mages, but he's not really using his gems right now. Actually, neither of the players are using them. So that's something I would like to be fixed. I would like to see be fixed from both of them. Just spending the gems. And also Pepsi now should be spending gold. Yeah, he has a ton of resources, even some free population, and he's not really utilizing it. I'm really afraid he's going to be pushed now here. Even though he has stronger Elf Rangers, they are kind of just focusing the priest. Now there will probably be a decree, I guess. A really nice play. Basically one-shotting all of these Elf Rangers, he just needs to finish them really quickly. But he's getting the expansion, he has a tower, so he is fine. He has 1 scout tower on the top. The mage got killed, but that's fine. And now he has more resources, more population a little bit, stronger army, and he also has an expansion, so this is looking really good for Pepsi. There are some idle priests, probably didn't put this barracks, advanced barracks into his group, Evig. Group of production buildings, and didn't set the rally point. Varengi's attacking again on this swordsman. But decent reaction for micromanagement. He's going to lose this swordsman, but actually 2 swordsmen. Almost 3. He can put this one into the warehouse, obviously. So now he's balancing the disadvantage of resources from this expansion with this. It's not the same speed, but it's definitely pretty decent. Now he found out about the expansion. Okay, there is a tower, so he needs to prepare for that. I mean, it's always interesting to see those battles of just basic units. There are no catapults, no siege units or flying units or these kinds of stuff. But to be honest, I don't really like to see this pure spam of swordsmen. Not too many priests on either side. That's just not really utilizing the potential you could have with that army. Yeah, but I really like the addition of mages that Pepsi made. Now he's just sitting on the resources, but he doesn't need to force anything. He can easily win this just with the army he has. He already has a level 5 Elf Ranger here, so he has the aura. As you can see, you can also get 1 damage for Bless, so now he has 17 damage and he doesn't even have the maximum upgrade. So we can potentially get even to 18 damage Elf Ranger, which is totally brutal, and he has almost 300 HP, so if all of them were level 5, it would be a really strong unit. But in the baseline, it's of course really weak. Now the main strength is that you are ranged, of course. You can fight well in small spaces. You can focus down units one by one. You can kite. Yeah, so those are the advantages, of course. But if you add mages like this, it's really brutal. Also, if Evig had mages, he could also splash this down really easily, but once again, you won't splash down 300 HP. Yeah, you can splash down 150. I think the damage you will deal with decree is like 140, so you can one-shot priests and you can bring elf rangers to one-shot HP. But the leveled up elf rangers will always survive that. Also, you can just micromanage out of decrease, maybe even dispel them if you have your own mages and you are quick enough, or you can resurrect with priests. Or just keep healing the leveled up elf rangers that just survive the decree damage. We finally see no workshop, wants to go for some catapults, but he has really slow income right now. Pepsi has ton of gold, so also double population, so we can really easily catch up to that. He doesn't have any population available now, and he doesn't have wood to build farms, so now he needs to focus on that. As you can see, once he got the food, he immediately went for a farm. He's also making more barracks just to spam more swordsmen with so much gold.
Building complete, my lord.
Seems like Evig is trying some last push here, maybe he wants to destroy the expansion, but at the same time Pepsi can just keep pushing this main base. Yeah, so this expansion will fall, but at the same time, this almost looks like the part from the mission 2 of Empire campaign, when you come to the enemy beast town and the elf rangers come there from the forests. Of course, he's not destroying beast right now, and those are different rangers, but it really reminds me that one moment. So Skipper, I'm in love with Pepsi playstyle. Yeah, it's really nice to see, really refreshing to see something different, and also someone making work these units. But to be honest, Evig also did really good strategy there with the secret barracks and push with swordsmen from two sides. It was also really interesting, so definitely we saw two really unique playstyles here being put off at the same time on a really interesting map. And I really enjoyed this game, it was really nice. And Evig eventually calling it GG, so Pepsi will be the one winning this. Let's check the results. Actually, I will save this. It was, as I said, really nice. I already saved one game with Pepsi, so he's obviously pulling out some nice strategies. So let's save that. As you can see, so many kills, really good micromanagement. The units are just so effective, so he was able to kill 170 kills, 70 units, and lost only 50. Which is really nice. You can also see the experience gain. There's just so much experience in those elf rangers, denying all experience to Evig, of course. Also 10 upgrades, and he actually had less resources, but it didn't really matter. He had more gems actually, but less gold. But as I said, gems was not something Evig would be focusing on. He was not really getting them at all, especially in the early game. He didn't even spend them, so that wasn't really important for him. He was just making swordsman.